Microsoft updates coming up, I thought it was a perfect time to do a video on how you can set up yourselves or people in your organization as a notification recipient and schedule updates for your apps. The objectives of this video are to set up people to be notified when updates are happening so they can let your organization know and what to expect. Get notified if upgrades succeeded or failed so that we know if there's any updates we have that we need to do. And the ability to be able to update apps automatically so that when Microsoft does the updates, we're in the best possible scenario. So the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to open up my Business Central. I am going to access the area to set this up under the Admin Center. So this is important to note. Not everybody should be able to access this. Most companies have this pretty locked down to an administrator or somebody in the IT group. So the Admin Center is a console to essentially set up the notification recipient like we're doing. You can install updates from ISVs. You can restore environments. You can create sandboxes. So you want people who have an understanding of the tools and really understand how to use them. That's really important. So if you have access and you can go into the Admin Center, we're going to do that to launch this new page. So here I can see the environments I have. Again, I can do things like look at recently deleted environments. I can refresh. I can look at telemetry, capacity. Thing I want to focus on today is my notification recipient. So it's very easy to add somebody, and it's important to add somebody who is going to be the administrator, who's going to communicate to your group that the updates are happening. So you just click on Add. So what you're going to do is enter in a name. It could be admin, it could be a name, and then you're going to put the email address. So we'll just do jensmith@contoso.com. Then you save it. That person is added to the list. It's as easy as that. And then when there's scheduled updates, if there's something that passes or fails in terms of an upgrade, anybody set up as a notification recipient will get the email. So again, I think it's important to have 1 to 2 people from your organization set up, admins, IT people. It makes sense to have your Business Central partner set up if you're working with one so that they can also be notified and on call to help you. And then again, any kind of support is also a good idea. So these people again will be emailed when an update's about to happen, which is based here on your update dates. So if we open up an environment, they'll be notified on these dates that, or not on these dates, but they'll be notified that an update is scheduled for a certain date. And then again, if it passes or fails. So next, we want to look at your cadence of updates and what that looks like and set it up to be the most optimal. So again, I'm going to look at my Admin Center. So here, this is a new feature called Update Apps Cadence. So here, I can click on Modify. So here you can see that you've got in your production environment the opportunity to set is by default, which means you're going to manually go in and update them when you would like, update with minor and major updates, or update just with major updates. So here, I'll select with minor and major and say save. And now in my production environment, I will see that it updates with that cadence. It is important to note that this setting is per environment. So I have set this cadence up for my production environment only. So you may find that setting this up in sandboxes only makes you feel more comfortable, and then manually you can update the production based on maybe the emails that you've been notified on whether things passed or failed. But again, it is a nice option because when Microsoft is scheduling updates for you, it's best to have all of your applications to be the most up to date. So again, this is something that can be done manually. If you click on your environment and you click on apps, you will be able to see all of the extensions that have been installed in your environment from AppSource. So it's important to note that if you have any tenant extensions, you won't see them here. but anything that you have installed from AppSource, you would see it. If it requires an update, you would see that. You may also see action required, which means that you may have an extension that has a prerequisite. This one I can see has been scheduled to be updated, but not quite yet. And then here I can see this one needs an update. I can see what versions I'm on and what I'm going to. So if I wanted to manually install, I can go ahead and click here. It lets me know that it is going to update from this version to that version. I can go ahead and schedule an update in the next window. And then here I'm able to see that my update is scheduled to go. So I can manually do that for anything that's out of date. This may be an action that your partner or an ISV partner asks you to do if they've done some releases to maybe give you new features or to fix small minor changes. But this is a really good video to get you in great shape for those amazing updates that we get from Microsoft. For any questions or more information, please contact me or anyone here at Sabre using the information here.